Welcome to the VC3 News Update. I am Sinead Hackshaw with the top local news stories. Recipients of the Promoting Youth Microenterprise Prime Grant now have an official infrastructure to ply their respective trades, with the official opening of the shops in Glen. The shops at Glen is an outcome of a government-funded effort under the Prime program that gave those who obtained Prime grants an appropriate marketplace to launch or grow their enterprises. Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Information Technology, who is also the area representative Camilla Gonsalves, said that the idea of Prime came from a conversation that he had with a resident of Glen.
The first idea for this thing called Prime came right here in Glen, sitting on that corner right there with a young man who has now gone sailing, but who was talking about wanting to start a business, but all of the challenges that stop him from starting a business. It wasn't that he didn't have an idea, he had a good idea. It wasn't that he wasn't hardworking. He's very hardworking. In fact, he's hardworking now with Royal Caribbean. But it was the roadblocks in front of him between his idea and where he wanted to be, which was his own business.
The area representative went on to say that Prime came about since the government realized that young people lacked the financial funds to get their businesses off the ground.
Because we realize that one of the big challenges that young people face is that they have the idea, but they don't have the money. And even if they get the money in a loan, sometimes they pay back the loan is so hard that as you make $1, you're spending $1 to pay back the loan. So we said we will create a program to give grants to young business people, not a loan, but we will give you money because we believe in your idea and your work ethic, and we believe that you should have a chance to see if your idea can become a good business. And that is how Prime, the idea for Prime was birthed right on the corner right here.
In addition to this, youth also face a challenge in getting a location for their business. Therefore, the government said in addition to the grants, they would also provide a location for the individuals.
So we said in addition to grants, we will begin to provide locations for people who have a good idea, for people who have demonstrated a hard work ethic, and for people to, as the Prime Minister says, fly like eagles with their wings unclipped.
Business persons who are currently plying their trade from the shops pay a monthly fee of $5 Eastern Caribbean dollars. There is also expected to be a second phase, where additional shops will be built to accommodate more persons. 3 building blocks, 6 stores, restrooms, and showers are all part of the complex. By presenting their business knowledge and integrity, it seeks to strengthen the youth of St. Vincent and the Grenadines' entrepreneurial skills. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Gonsalves, speaking at the opening of the shops, said that persons who are occupying the shops are young people. He said area representative Camilla Gonsalves must be commended for the establishment of the shops.
The persons who are in these 6 shops are largely young people. And Camilo, who is the architect of this, has to be congratulated, because the idea starts in the head of an individual. And then things are planned out, and things are then done.
Dr. Gonsalves went on to say that it is not possible without leadership, people, or a plan. He said that the shops, most of the individuals have certificates.
That nothing is possible without people. Nothing is doable without requisite leadership. And nothing is sustainable without specially or appropriately crafted institutions. You will go inside of some of these shops. In fact, most of them. There's a young man who has a university education who is into the IT business here. But others who are involved in other activities, I've seen on their walls certificates issued, Caribbean Vocational Qualification certificates issued under the imprimatur of the Sector Skills Development Agency. Remember, I tell you, nothing is sustainable without institutions.
The government, according to Dr. Gonsalves, established the Sector Skill Development Agency, an idea which, he said, the opposition was not in support of.
This government established the Sector Skills Development Agency. And one of the central functions of it, in fact, there's a law called the Sector Skills Development Agency. And I remember when the law was taken to Parliament, the opposition said, we are just creating institutions and this is a useless institution. Why you can't get somebody who is an education officer to do the work what you're talking about, the Sector Skills Development Agency, what's it about? But if you don't have any vision, and if you only see just at the edge of your nose, you're not going to be able to get things done of a sustainable kind.
In more local news stories, the Food and Agricultural Organization FAO's assistance to the Eastern Caribbean states in their drive to rebuild significant extra-regional markets for produce to be shipped to the U.S. and Europe has been praised by the Minister of Agriculture for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. According to a news release from the Food and Agricultural Organization, as the FAO facilitates a market assessment mission in the international market, hubs of London, England, and Miami in the United States, Caribbean farmers may soon have more export opportunities for their produce. The mission supports the Windward Islands Food Production and Trade Corridor's goal of bolstering national and regional value chain development, a program that the FAO started on February 3 of 2023. From September 27 to October 4, a number of strategic decisions and sites will be held in London, England. From October 4 to the 11th, they will be held in Miami under the direction of Mr. Jai Rampasad, the FAO's trade development consultant. During the first leg of the journey to England, the consultant will meet with the St. Vincent and the Grenadines High Commission office, which will help organize a site visit to significant markets and link to strategies ties to trade opportunities. The pre-planned sessions are scheduled to discuss a range of subjects including goods, cost, standards of quality, difficulties facing the business, and logistics. The High Commission offices of the Windward Island and other Caribbean nations will also be scheduled for similar sessions. A number of Caribbean markets will be visited and important players will be met in order to examine the present distribution channels, competition, pricing, volumes, challenges, and commodities. And in news on the Miss SVG pageant, with just under a week to go for the Miss SVG Beauty pageant, and the girls are winding down the activities leading up to the pageant. Last weekend, the young ladies visited the communities on the leeward and windward side of the country respectively. They received very warm receptions in all the communities, and this obviously delighted them.
Trouble up in the place now. Yo, double killing. Trouble up in the place now. Yo, double killing.
On Friday, members of the public can have the opportunity to dine with the 9 contestants as well as Miss SVG 2022 Jada Ross at the La Vie Boutique Hotel and Beach Club. Tickets for the pageants can be had at outlets Insights, Chill Spot, Four Shells, Video Extreme, Terrence, Autocare, VJ's Restaurant, Johnny's Barbershop, and the Lotto Booth at Peace Memorial Hall. Those are our local news stories. Continue watching the VC3 News Update on Channel 114 for regional and international news.